Previously on Selman Saga.
In the Stark Tower, two godlike beings, Thor and Superman, faced each other, causing massive explosions. Hawkeye and Spider-Man came to Thor's aid when he was struggling against Superman. Hawkeye was critically injured in Superman's attacks, and Spider-Man was taken away by Venom after being thrown from the tower by Superman's punch.
Hey, that's me, Selman, and this is my saga. Selman Saga.
When Spider-Man regained consciousness, he found himself in a dark and narrow underground tunnel, bound by heavy chains. He had a slight headache in his face, and many aches and pains in his body. His eyes slowly opened, and he began to realize the shape of the room, a space filled with concrete walls, puddles of water on the floor, and poles to which he was tightly bound. In one corner of the room, Eddie Brock, under the influence of Venom, was waiting angrily. Spider-Man's eyes, after a moment of confusion, focused on Venom's hate-filled face. Eddie Brock asked Venom, "Why are we so hateful to him, and what are we going to do to him?" Venom said in an angry tone, "This is none of your business, Eddie. This is just between me and Spider-Man. So, from now on, I'm in complete control." Eddie Brock obediently fell silent when he saw this angry attitude of Venom. No matter how tense the conversation between the two was, it looked very funny from the outside. Spider-Man quietly said, "Oh my God, I never thought I'd be kidnapped by a paranoid." Then he yelled at Eddie Brock, "Hey, what's the matter with you? Why you got me tied up in here? Thor's in trouble and we need to help him." As Eddie angrily approaches Spider-Man, he transforms into Venom and licks Spider-Man's face and says, "Finally, we meet again. Now you will answer every single one of my questions, or I will taste your brains." "Dude, you should know that even if we were in New York right now, it wouldn't be racist for me to hit you," Spider-Man said. And with a powerful effort, he broke his bonds and went on the attack. Venom was infuriated by this unexpected attack and began frantically chasing Spider-Man, with Spider-Man's mind-boggling acrobatics and quick reflexes constantly parrying Venom's powerful blows. However, Venom's stamina and attacks left Spider-Man in a difficult situation. Spider-Man and Venom struggled to gain the upper hand against each other during the intense confrontation in the underground tunnels. Both characters used their powerful abilities to limit and weaken each other. However, Spider-Man's only concern was to help the embattled Thor, so he devised a plan to escape. During the firefight, he distracted Venom by throwing webs from a distance and suddenly began to move towards the entrance on one side of the tunnel. Venom gave chase at breakneck speed, but thanks to Spider-Man's agility and web-slinging abilities, he was constantly slipping out of his grasp. Finally, in this chaotic and confusing environment beneath the city, Spider-Man made a quick turn and disappeared from Venom's sight in a series of athletic moves. With a sudden turn, he left the entrance to the underground tunnels and headed toward the city center. But Venom had no intention of giving up. He had already landed on the city streets. As the tension in the air increased, Venom's symbiotic form and rage-filled eyes cast a dark shadow across the city night. Spider-Man suddenly dropped down from a rooftop, while Venom quickly stepped in front of him. The two stood among the city lights, between the tall buildings, challenging each other. Venom's symbiotic armor gleamed and his tongue, curled in rage, dangled, ready to strike. Spider-Man responded with a quick and agile stance, ready for this new confrontation. Spider-Man said, "Dude, what's your problem? Thor's in trouble and you're scaring people." Venom, "Get this. You're the only one in trouble here." After a brief exchange of words, the two launched into a sudden and dramatic confrontation. Leaping from the rooftops of tall buildings, climbing walls, they attacked each other with quick maneuvers. Spider-Man withstood Venom's powerful blows as best he could. The chaotic streets of the city were witnessing the destructive clash of these two powerful beings, as the sounds of the clash echoed between the tall buildings, waking the city's inhabitants from their slumber. The two confronted each other using their powers and abilities to the fullest. But Spider-Man, damaged by Superman's blow, could not escape Venom. He no longer had the strength to resist and was completely overwhelmed. As Venom grabbed Spider-Man in the middle of the city, a sudden noise and vibration echoed through the center of the city. Meanwhile, an intense light from the sky and the sounds of gunfire caught Venom's attention. As he ascended through the buildings above the city, he was stunned by what he saw. In the center of the city, a massive clash was taking place between the Avengers and Superman. Hulk's devastating blows and Captain America's shield were transformed into a city-shaking energy. Superman was adding to the mayhem with his super speed and power. Eddie Brock felt small among these powerful beings, and thought it would be dangerous to be in this conflict. Venom nervously said, "These are laser eyes. They're out of my league," as he disappeared between the rooftops of the city and sped away from the conflict. Spider-Man saw his friends in distress and wanted to help, but the fighting had exhausted him, and he fainted.